All right, today we are diving into a huge challenge for pretty much any business out there, the crazy cost of finding new customers. We're going to break down the surprising math behind customer acquisition and really get into how a simple shift in your purpose can slash your costs and unlock some serious, sustainable profit.
So let me start with a question for you. Think about it. Is the growth you're seeing in your customer base actually real, or is it kind of just an expensive illusion? One that's fueled by constantly spending a ton of money to find new faces just to replace the ones that are quietly walking out the back door.
Because here's the honest truth, and the research backs this up completely. Getting a new customer costs anywhere from 5 to 25 times more than just keeping an existing one. Just imagine for a second what you could do with all that extra cash if you reinvested it back into your business. This whole situation creates what you could call the customer acquisition treadmill. And it's a perfect name for it, right? It feels like you're sprinting on a treadmill, just pouring in money and effort, all to stay in the exact same place. It's totally exhausting, it's super expensive, and honestly, it's a race you're never going to win.
So how in the world do you get off the treadmill? Well, it all starts with a pretty fundamental shift in your core purpose. It's about moving away from just thinking about one-off transactions and starting to think about building real, long-term relationships. This is the absolute heart of modern customer relationship management, or CRM. I mean, think about the difference between a random cashier who just takes your money and your favorite barista who knows your name and has your usual order ready. It's a world of difference.
And just look at the contrast here. The old way, that transactional mindset, it's all about the quick sale, push the product, get that one-time revenue, but the relationship mindset, that is playing a much longer and, frankly, a much more profitable game. It's all focused on sustainable, mutual gain.
And this brings us to this really core idea called dual value creation. It's not complicated, really. It's a two-way street. When you create genuine value for your customer, you solve their problems, you make their life a little easier, they in turn create lasting value for you. They do it through their loyalty, through their repeat business. It's a win-win.
And that's really the whole ballgame. The goal is a partnership. When both sides feel like they're getting a good deal, that's when you've built something that's actually sustainable and really, really powerful.
Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice? Well, it starts with understanding the incredibly powerful economics of loyalty. The best way to think about it is like plugging the holes in a leaky bucket before you spend all your time and energy trying to pour more water into it.
This chart really drives that 5 to 25 times figure home, doesn't it? It's not just some abstract number. It's a massive visible difference in where your resources are going. The effort it takes to convince a total stranger it dwarfs the cost of making a current customer happy. And the potential upside here is just as dramatic. Now get this. The data shows that just by improving your customer retention rate by a mere 5%, you can boost your company's profitability by an incredible 35 to 85%. That is the incredible power of focusing on the people you already have.
So the goal of a great CRM strategy is to actively guide people up this ladder. You're not just crossing your fingers and hoping they come back. No, you're building a clear path that turns a one-time customer into a repeat client, and then ultimately into a passionate advocate who basically becomes one of your best marketers for free.
But here's where things get really cool. Focusing on retention doesn't mean you just stop looking for new business. In fact, it's the exact opposite. A retention-first mindset is actually the secret to making your new customer acquisition way smarter, way cheaper, and a whole lot more effective.
Yeah, so let's be super clear on this. The point isn't to stop growing. The point is to stop wasting money acquiring the wrong customers. The ones who buy once and then disappear. Instead, you use the intelligence you get from your very best customers to find more people just like them. And the data you get from your loyal customers? That's the treasure map. It shows you exactly where the most profitable markets are hiding. It tells you what your ideal customer looks like, and it helps you focus your marketing budget so you can stop wasting money and make your whole sales process way more effective.
So when you combine these two strategies, you've got passionate retention on one side and data-driven acquisition on the other, you don't just get a better process. What you get is a powerful, self-reinforcing engine for truly sustainable growth.
This is that virtuous cycle in action. It's beautiful, really. You delight your existing customers, they stay longer, they become more profitable, they then give you priceless data that you use to find more of the right kind of new customers at a much lower cost, who are then way more likely to become loyal themselves. The whole thing just starts to spin faster and faster, building its own momentum.
It all comes back to this one idea.
The real goal isn't the quick sale. It's about building a win-win partnership that's built on trust. And when that is your core objective, lower acquisition costs and higher profits, they aren't just a goal anymore. They become the natural result of doing things the right way.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. Your products, they're important, for sure. But your most valuable profit-generating asset is the relationship you have with your existing customers. So the real question is, does your budget, does your strategy, and does your company's entire mindset truly reflect that reality?